Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Hendershot, when does the president have to get permission of the United States Congress to use military force?
Well, Senator Kennedy, as I was discussing with Ranking Member Durbin, I do want to be careful about hypotheticals in terms of prejudging.
It's not a hypothetical. I'm asking what the Constitution says. When does the President of the United States have to get permission from Congress to use military force?
Generally, Senator, my understanding is the divisions between Article 1 and Article 2 distinguish between the war powers, which are under Article 1 and require congressional consent. Again, it's talking in great generalities, whereas other use of force, if I understand your question, are things that are likely committed under Article 2 to the President's commander-in-chief powers.
I have no idea what you just said, Mr. Hendershot. Let's try it again. Tell me when the President has to go to Congress to get permission to use military force.
Senator, I think is when, because the text of the Constitution, Article 1, talks about declarations of war, those would be circumstances where the President would, in a general sense, and use of force that is not war under the commander-in-chief power, I think those are under Article 2 without the consultation of Congress.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I just don't understand what you said. Mr. Jones. Let's suppose the mayor of a city. Well, strike that. Let's suppose the mayor of a city goes to his or her city council and gets a rule freezing rents. You with me?
Yes, Senator.
Freezing all rents
Yes, Senator.
forever and a day. Well, no, let's make it even more interesting. Reducing rents by 20%, because housing is a problem, right? Cost of housing. Let's suppose that to try to help people with housing costs, the city, mayor and council, uses its police power under its state constitution as recognized by the federal constitution.
A Senate confirmation hearing turned into a remarkable constitutional showdown when Senator John Kennedy began questioning several federal judicial nominees. What started as a standard review of legal qualifications quickly evolved into a series of exchanges that left the hearing room tense and the nominees struggling to provide direct answers. Kennedy's questions were not obscure legal puzzles. Instead, they focused on fundamental constitutional principles. Presidential war powers, government authority over private property, and the use of race-based classifications under the law. Let's break down the dramatic moments.
But I think you would have to look at the
Why isn't that a taking?
well, it certainly could be a taking. And
Well,
I think,
when does it become a taking? At what point?
well, I think it would have to be, you'd have to initially look at the impact, the financial impact on the taking of
Okay.
what could amount to a property.
Let's suppose, that's fair, yes, sir. Let's suppose 40% of the landlords will default on their mortgage. Have you reached the point of a taking or not? And how do you determine when you reach the point of a taking?
Well, again, I think it could depend, but there would have to be a showing that, what the financial impact was. And I
Yes,
think
sir, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. We just have so little time. I understand that you have to have a showing. Tell me what the rule is.
Well, I think the rule is if you're taking property without, the government, I should say, taking property for a legitimate government purpose, I think you can only do that by compensating the owner of the property.
So any freeze on rent is a act of eminent domain?
Well, not necessarily, Senator. I think in your hypothetical, you were, at least as I understood it, we're talking about a financial impact, not just freezing it at the moment, but then going on down the
Okay.
road.
In the hypothetical I gave you, who's going to win if the landlords sue the city or the landlords?
Well, I think, again, it would depend on the
You're
length.
not going to give me an answer, are you?
Well, I think it could depend. I know that's a very lawyerly answer, Senator. but
Yes,
I
sir, it
think-
is.
I
Very
think it
hard.
would Depend
Well,
on,
Judge, let me ask you a question in the few minutes I have. Tell me under what circumstances the state legislature can draft a statute that makes a distinction that classifies people on the basis of race.
Senator, I think Chair Grassley, may I answer?
Yes, and then we'll go to Senator Coons.
Don't forget to like, comment and hit the subscribers button for more political and controversial showdowns.